Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Potter.
And I'm Kimber Potter.
We are the owners of Frisco Web Agency, and we're going to go through a series of questions and answers that a lot of our clients ask, or prospective clients. And hopefully this provides valuable insight to some of these questions and some of the answers.
Perfect. So my first question as a potential or current client would be, how can I make my website attract more clients for my services?
So in order to do that, the biggest thing you're going to need is a source of traffic. And that could come from advertising, it could come from SEO, referrals, content creation, like if you're blogging, sharing content on social media. Just the biggest thing is choosing and growing a source of traffic. And I think the most reliable thing to choose would be advertising, because the cool thing about advertising is everything is trackable if you have it set up correctly. So from the exact dollar amount that you put in to the amount of people who see your ad, click on it, engage on the landing page, fill out the form, make the call. And if you have a CRM, you can even track the people who answered the phone call for your salespeople and that submitted a form and made the sale. So you'd be able to ideally track the amount of money you put in and the exact amount of money that you put out. But the problem with advertising is not a lot of people have a budget for advertising. So a lot of advertising platforms require a minimum of $2,000, and if that's too much, then what I recommend is putting your website on all of your marketing collateral and sharing it verbally and through social media. And that right there would create a really good initial setup for your website traffic. And what that would look like is, for social media, making sure that your website link is in all of your social media platforms, bios, wherever you can place it. And, in the descriptions to your post. And so also in your marketing collateral, so your business cards, your lawn flyers, if you're, a lawn company, roofing company, put a QR code with your website on it so that people can scan it and go to your website. Just having as many places as possible where people can, go to your website, review it, get the things they need. And the next one that I recommend would be SEO for a traffic source. And this one's cool because you could do it one of two ways. The first way is doing it yourself. And a lot of people succeed with SEO strategies doing it themselves. And the main thing with improving your SEO, which is just search engine optimization, showing up in places like Google, getting more clicks, from people that you want to visit or that you want to come to your website, would be creating content. Okay. So a lot of people associate, SEO with blog articles or I guess mostly blog articles, but the truth is you can create a lot of other things to improve your SEO. One of our clients, PDRTX, right now we're building a estimator for dent repair for their auto hail damage clients, because we found out that the big competitors that they're going against, their second or third highest visited page is a auto hail repair estimating calculator. Oh, wow. So it doesn't always have to be blogs. Really what you want to do is find out what people are searching for when it comes to your product or service, and then creating content that shows up in Google that they want to review or use. And yeah, with that, if it's something they want, you're going to get more visitors. And so those are the three traffic sources that I recommend. So to wrap it back up, that's advertising, referrals, and just placing it in all of your marketing collateral, and then SEO.
Perfect. So my next question would be, what's the best way to show my expertise on a website?
Best way to show your expertise. I think that this is going to be almost making your website all inclusive with your brand. So for example, you can go the informational route and make sure that you have every page that you need to have in order to communicate everything about your expertise. So for example, if you're a financial firm and you want to communicate your expertise and you want to go the information route, that may look like creating weekly articles about financial expertise, or having individual service pages for each part of your financial expertise practice. But I think the problem with that is you can have very valuable and accurate information that can communicate your expertise, but if it looks bad, if your website just looks bad, unprofessional,
sure,
and doesn't communicate that expertise almost like visually outside of the informative text, then you're not going to be able to communicate that you are an expert in your services. So I think in order to demonstrate and showcase your expertise on a website, you need to have the information, but then you also need to have a website design that looks beautiful, that communicates your values as a company and makes them almost feel a certain way when they go to your website. Like they feel like they can trust you. They feel like you're diligent with the details. They feel like you're responsible and an expert. And with all those things put together, I think that's how you can demonstrate it. And then also, I think one of the quickest things that people can do to demonstrate their expertise on their website that most people don't do is creating a video and just putting it on the homepage. A video where it's well put together, there's good lighting, there's a good camera. It's not, honestly, if you only have a phone to record that video, iPhones are amazing quality. And just sucking it up, not having excuses like I'm not good on camera, I can't do this, or let me plan this script out or whatever. I think if people were to just sit down, write a script for an hour for what they want their potential clients to see on their website, and then just get it recorded to put it on their website, I think that is one of the quickest ways to communicate your expertise on a website. Yeah. But again, I think if you have that video with a bad or poor design and no attention to details, and it just doesn't look good, then I think it can kind of confuse your customers. Sure. Because they see a nice, well put together video, but the design of the website just doesn't reflect that expertise. So they may be like, still don't know if I can trust you. Let me go check out some of the other people. I
do like what you said about having the images on your website be able to also represent the value of your company.
Yes.
I think our generation and every generation after that is going to be very much image oriented. Yes. And like the look of having details in a website really does matter, and you want something that really reflects you and your brand. And I think that's really great.
Yeah, because nowadays, so our generation, and especially the younger generation, they are being desensitized with content. So they have intuition now with what is good content, right, and what's worthless content that's not, worth their time. And so they can see in a fraction of a second, all the design details, the feeling of, is this something that I need to learn? Is this something that I need to know to collect all the information that I need to make a decision? And again, a lot of those things are made in a split-second decision.
Look is everything, for sure.
think about when you're scrolling on a Instagram feed. Not saying that people have the same intentions when they're scrolling through websites to be quick and everything, but when you're going through Instagram, you have an intuition for what type of content you want to stop scrolling to see. And you're either scrolling right past it if it doesn't look worth your time, or maybe you'll pause for half a second because you think it may be worth your time. And then if it is, you sit there and you look at it, you digest whatever content it is. But if in that half second you feel like it's not worth your time, you're gonna keep on scrolling. And so with a website, like all of the elements on a website contribute to that split-second decision that people are making when they're going to your website.
Sure. Okay, and that brings me to the next question. Let's see, how can I turn my website visitors into paying customers?
So this one is also like an all-inclusive answer. I think one of the most important things is the previous one that we talked about communicating your expertise. But I think also having best practices for conversions. And so what you're asking is, how do I get more conversions? How do I get people to take the actions that I want them to take on my website? For a lot of service providers, that may be like, people filling out a form or giving them a call directly. But, for like blogging websites, it may be, clicking the subscribe button to receive blog updates. Or for a e-commerce website, it may be, filling out information so that they have enough to be able to send you recovery cart reminders or promotions. And so every website and every business wants specific type of conversions. And in order to get those, usually you just need best practices. And that could be something as simple as, for service industries, having your phone number always in the nav bar, making sure that the nav bar is sticky. So all that means is as you scroll through the website, or as a user scrolls through the website, the nav bar stays at the top.
Okay.
And then, having something like a red or green button on your website with a clear call to action, like, get your free quote now, that leads them to a page with a form. And then on the form, making sure that you're collecting the right information that you want to collect. And also just having multiple opportunities for them to convert into a paying client. So a lot of people may, take the first step for best optimizations by putting a button or phone number in the navigation, but throughout the rest of the page or pages, they don't have that. So for best practices, for getting people to convert on your website, getting more paying customers, just give people the opportunity to buy from you. And that looks like having a button that sends them to a form or whatever in every single section of the page. It doesn't matter if you think that it doesn't look pretty or this or that. Like, what do you want? Do you want more conversions to grow your business? Or do you just want it to be a pretty poster that costs your company money but doesn't make it any money? The point of a website is for it to be a 24-hour salesperson, something that you can't do, that none of your employees can do. And if it's optimized right, like, it will help you turn visitors into paying customers.
Got it. So I know you've talked about blogs and SEO and, creative content and stuff like that. So my next question is, do I need a blog or to add content to my website to get more business?
I used to think that the answer, I'm on the fence with this one, because I think if you're the type of person that thinks you can create any type of content for the sake of creating something because you're supposed to do it, and it be irrelevant content, it's not good, it's kind of AI generated gibberish for the sake of just getting it online to just post content, then no, you don't need a blog. Like, go to the other pages on your website, make sure that they're optimized well, make sure that they look good, that they sound right, that they have all the information that you want on there, all the conversion best practices, because having a blog and creating bad content is going to do nothing but hinder your website. And to give you context, there's a person that is in my networking group that I met with about a month and a half ago, and it turns out that she was paying a SEO professional to create blog articles, and for some reason she wasn't getting any traffic. In fact, she was lowering her rankings. Like she wasn't showing up as high in Google as she was before hiring him.
Okay.
And after reviewing that SEO professional's content strategy, it turns out that he was generating content straight from ChatGPT about gyms, and so she was ranking for gym content, but she was a CrossFit gym. She didn't want to rank for regular commercial gym stuff. So she was, in the beginning, before hiring, the SEO professional to create blog articles, she was ranking for the things that she wanted to rank for, which was CrossFit clients. And after her website got bloated with gym content, Google saw, okay, this is actually a website that's not for CrossFit people, it's for gym people. So her rankings lowered for CrossFit and increased for the gym. But as we both know, gyms are all over the place. So she wasn't even ranking for gyms. Because that's really competitive. So in that case, having a blog actually hurt her business. I think an example where having a blog would be necessary is if you're serious about creating useful content. So I have a couple legal professionals and financial professionals as clients, and their content is amazing for finances and for law. And so for them, having a blog and creating articles is something that they see as necessary for their business, but they also enjoy doing it. And so on a weekly basis, they create articles, and what happens? They rank for more keywords on Google, and they, get higher in Google rankings. Unfortunately for them, that area is very, very competitive because there's a lot of law and financial information out there. So they're not getting, crazy results, but they are getting improvements, and that's because they enjoy writing the articles, and they're also not asking ChatGPT to create them. They're going in there as financial professionals and writing them themselves, and so they're very useful, highly relevant, good content. So that's how having a blog would actually be useful.
Sure, just as long as it has the right information, it sounds right, it's coming from the heart, and it represents exactly what your business is.
Exactly, because if you don't have a passion for it, then you're probably going to hate it and then start going the cheaper route by, I found out that ChatGPT can create all of this. Why not just use that if I don't have to do it? So. Okay.
So with so many things out there on Google and so many websites that are creating, every day, how can I use my website to build trust to my clients?
So this one's going to be pretty quick, honestly. It's going to be the same as the second question, which would be, how do I demonstrate my expertise? I think that was the second question. The answer to this question would be those same things, making sure that your website looks amazing, it performs amazing, it has relevant content, it has the information that you want to communicate to those clients or customers. And I think if you knock out those points, you'll get a green check for this one.
So what do you think about putting, testimonials on there, or Google reviews and before and afters? Would that help my relationship with clients to know that they can trust me?
Yeah, so I think now skepticism is more rampant than ever before. Because we have all of this information that we're trying to filter through, and we also know that there's a lot of tactics that companies may use in order to demonstrate their expertise when they're not experts. So when people are looking for a product, a service, or whatever it is that they want, what is the first thing that they check? Reviews. When we go on Amazon to buy something, what's the first thing you check?
Reviews.
When you go to a auto hair repair company and you're looking at their Google My Business profile, what's the first thing you check?
Reviews.
Exactly. So I think that is a perfect point. And when it comes to putting that on your website, it would look like having a section on your homepage, because I'm assuming that's going to be the most visited page for most of the people watching this. So having a review section on your homepage that has all those testimonials, and you can either, create that section yourself, or there's companies like Elfsight that has embeddable widgets where you can connect it to your Facebook page, Google My Business, Yelp, Nextdoor, like so many platforms, and embed it directly on your website. And they'll walk you through the steps on how to do that. But I think reviews definitely a priority. And again, one of the most underutilized things that can communicate that trust is videos. So grabbing a client, a customer, and asking them, hey, I'm trying to build more reputable reviews on my website, and I would really love to highlight you on the website. Is it okay if I schedule a time with you to record a 2-minute video that I would be able to post on my website along with a quote from you, so that I can show people what I did for you, and how you felt after it, and what I provided, and that would be really valuable, just having something like that on your website.
Sure.
And even if people don't click on it and watch it, which some of them will, but some of them won't, just seeing another person on your website is going to show the people intuitively, like, oh, okay, I can trust this company. They have people reviewing their stuff, and now they have a video with somebody that's about to talk, about what they did for their, for their service. And yeah, I think that would be a really good idea.
Perfect. Okay, so the next one is, how do I know if my website is working to bring in clients and sales? Is there, analytics, attached to that, or data? Like, how does that work to know that I'm the business and I can bring in people, and kind of seeing how that works? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so. If you have a custom website, you'll need custom tools like Google Analytics embedded or integrated on the website. But a lot of people use website builders like Wix or Squarespace that already have those tools with the website, or GoDaddy. And if you go into, usually, you could probably find it on YouTube. Like, how do I see the analytics for my website, so that you can make sure that your website is actually doing the things you need it to do. And 9 times out of 10, with the clients that we've worked with, after seeing their analytics and reviewing it with them, they're usually getting 50 to 100 visitors a month. And obviously, as you can imagine, that's not going to translate to a lot of sales. So that's definitely a big priority that needs to be set up on your website if you don't already have it set up. And again, if you're using a website builder like GoDaddy, Duda, Wix, Squarespace, and a couple others, they should already have the analytics in the platform. You could just use resources like YouTube or Google to find out where to find that. But if you're a larger business and you have a more custom website, what I recommend doing is hiring an agency to find those analytics for you, because ideally what you want to do is reverse engineer all the statistics on your website, so that you can be able to say, let's say you're not doing advertising, and all of your traffic is coming from things like SEO, people clicking directly on your link, or referral traffic, which means from one site to your site.
Okay.
And that's how you're getting your traffic. What you want is somebody to come in and set up something like Google Analytics so that you can see exactly where all the sources of traffic are coming from.
Okay.
And you can see the exact number of visitors that are coming from each source of traffic. And you can leverage that. Let's say, you get that set up and you see that you're getting most of your traffic from social media. But before doing the analytics setup, you've been pouring in efforts into like marketing collateral, making sure that your link is on all of your business cards, all of your flyers, you're going to networking meetings, telling people to go to your traffic. Then obviously you want to probably pull back or manage the, referral or marketing collateral traffic and pour into the social media traffic. And the next cool thing with analytics is you should be able to, like I was saying earlier, reverse engineer things. So ideally what you want to see is how many people are visiting your website, how long are they spending on the website, what pages are they going to, what are the actions that they're taking, are they filling out the forms, making the calls, and you want to be able to have numbers listed for each one of those things. And then if you're doing something like advertising, you want to make sure, like in the first question I was talking about, that everything is tracked. And with that, you need things like Google Analytics, like, Google Search Console, Facebook Pixel, the Google Tag Manager. You need all these things set up. So if you don't have that set up, that's definitely like a whole topic in its own, but I highly, highly, highly recommend getting that set up as soon as possible.
So what you're saying is that, if I don't have an agency, I can probably find some of those things on YouTube and just kind of generate it myself. But if I hired someone like Frisco Web Agency, you would have kind of a personal view of where all your clients and data is coming from, specifically, along with getting a more custom site, more custom build of the details of where my sales are specifically coming from, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So at Frisco Web Agency, what we prioritize is making sure that your website is that 24-hour salesperson.
Okay.
Because we know that, we're building websites for businesses, and again, they're not wanting just some pretty flyer that's online and accessible for
Sure.
anybody that sees it. They want a machine that brings them sales.
Right.
And so one of our priorities at Frisco Web Agency is making sure that everything is trackable and that everything can be reverse engineered. Like one of the services that we provide is SEO. And when it comes to that analytic tracking, we want to make sure that we're seeing the number of blog posts that are created, the number of keywords that they're ranking for,
Right.
the number or the increase in their domain rating, the number of backlinks that they're getting, so that we can see their rankings in Google, how many people are seeing their links in Google, how many people are clicking through, how long are they staying on the website, what actions are they taking, are they clicking the call button, filling out the form. And then even after that, we want to make sure that follow-ups are set up so that when people are calling or filling out a form, those same people are being followed up with via SMS, email, saying, hey, a sales representative is going to be in touch with you shortly, stay by your phone and be prepared. And then pipeline tracking, making sure that all those leads are categorized with, whatever vertical that our clients are serving, and the value attached to those verticals, and all the way through to them closing the sale. So they're able to, specify, hey, this client moved forward, this one didn't. This is the exact monetary value that we got from the client. And so what we can see is, if one of our clients makes $5,000 off of a specific customer, now we can see what article did that customer come from? What was the exact thing that they saw in Google. What was the exact action that they took on their website? How were they followed up with? So that we can see the downfalls in each of those stages and be able to fix those, or so that we can see in whole, which vertical is going to be the most valuable, which one are going to be the easiest to get customers from, what can we leverage in these stages to get them more money, and then ultimately be able to attach their return on investment with us. So at the very end, they're able to see, hey, Frisco Web Agency made us, $1.6 million with an initial, 15, 25K in their investment.
Nice. So it sounds like a professional is probably the best way to go.
100%.
Okay.
At the end of the day, like, the people that are listening to this are business owners, and a lot of them are, starting entrepreneurs. And one of the most important things is energy management and time management. And so if they're sitting here trying to figure out everything themselves, one, probably not going to do it right. Two, probably going to hinder your business. And three, you're spending time on something that you don't need to be spending time on. You need to be out there, growing your business, doing strategy, making sales, not sitting there doing the development and analytic process for your company.
Sure. So my last question would be, what are the tools, the best tools and features to add to my website to grow my business?
Tools and features. So we talked about having a review widget. I think that that's something that can be done for most people straight out of the gate. Sign up for, a company like Elfsight. I think it's like, $5 a month, and you can have embedded reviews on your website. The second thing, Google My Business. A lot of our clients are service providers, and so they lean heavily on Google My Business and Facebook pages. And that correlates with your website by making sure that your website is set up on those listings so that people can click on it and go to your website. The third thing would be the analytics thing that we talked about, just making sure that everything is tracked and you can see like any gaps in your lead acquisition strategy when it comes to your website, and anything that you can leverage, and just be able to see the full picture of the value that your website is bringing to your company. And then if you're doing advertising, same, just having that analytic structure set up. And outside of that, having blogs, if that's something that is going to help you grow. We just talked about if it's something that you hate and that you're not going to be creating good content with, and if you were to be creating those blog articles, you would be doing it yourself, just don't do it. Either bring somebody else in that wants to create that content, or just don't do it. Let me see, the videos, making sure that you're recording videos that people can quickly watch instead of having to browse through your website, because people skim through websites now. And so having a video where somebody can collect a lot of information in a short period of time is definitely a really good a really good tool to have on your website. And outside of those things, I can't really think about anything else. So I think that those are the big things. So analytics, reviews, videos, and if you have ads, same analytics, and then blogs. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more content from us, and make sure to follow us on social media if you'd like to, and that is Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. And then also, obviously, if you're interested in growing your business by getting more sales and ranking higher in Google, go to our website and fill out a consultation form so that we can see if SEO and improving your website would be a good strategy for you growing your business.